So good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. We've talked a lot about goals. We've had some meetings. We've talked about it at company-wide meetings. You kind of hear about it all the time, right? And it is an important piece. And I want to give you some stats and talk about some things, and really why you should set a goal, and then how you can attain your goals. And that's where we're gonna hopefully end the day with, or end our little power hour here with, because it is really important. I know we got a lot of people in conference rooms and offices and so forth, but just to start out and think about this, only 3% of Americans set a goal and write it down. Only 3%. 83% of people don't even set a goal. They don't even set a goal. So, it's really, really kind of interesting that everything that we go through, and as we come into January, people are going to make New Year's resolutions and do all these things, but most people actually rarely do anything. They don't set a goal. They don't have any type of realistic item, something they want to achieve at the end of the year. So there's so many different studies, so many different stats. I know Tom shared some in our last company-wide meeting, but 76% of people who set a goal, write it down, and share it with somebody are going to achieve that goal. 76%. So if you set a goal, write it down, and share it with a person next to you, a manager, your significant other, a friend, you have a good chance, a very good chance of achieving that goal. But here's where you have to be smart about it. And I did not make this up. This was done by a college that I remember. I forget which college it was. But you need to be smart. So smart. S, you need to be specific. You have to have a specific goal. M, it needs to be measurable. You need to be able to measure it to make sure you're going to be able to achieve this goal. A, it needs to be attainable. Is this something that you can do? R, it needs to be realistic. And T, you have to have a time frame to it. So it needs to be smart. And let's just say, I said, which this is actually true, I need to lose 10 pounds, and I'm going to start January 1st. Well, I know that's specific. It's 10 pounds. I know it's measurable. I got to lose 10 pounds. I can weigh myself. I know I can attain that. And I have a time frame, 2024. Now, if I said I wanted to lose 10 pounds on January 2nd, and starting on January 24th, I wouldn't be realistic about it. But if I said I wanted to achieve that by April 1st, I've got a specific goal that I can measure, I can attain it, it's realistic, and there's an end time frame. So with real estate or anything like this, it's pretty easy. We can say just 2024. And you can sit there and do a lot of different things with that. We can make this, and we'll talk about this, as big, vague, whatever it is. But if you have it, you have a great chance to improve it. And if you can achieve that goal, it can change your life. It could change a vacation. It could do a lot of different things. And so let me ask you this. If you knew now that, you have a really 76% chance to achieve your goal, if you just write it down and share it. If you look at the weather tomorrow, and it says there's a 77% chance of rain, are you going to prepare for rain? Most likely you will. I better bring a jacket, throw their umbrella, look outside, whatever. If less than 20% of people achieve a goal by not having, writing it down, and it said 20% chance of rain, what would you do? Not a great chance. But we have to write it down. If we sat there and said, hey, I'm out of soap. I better write soap down on a list to pick up soap at Walmart or Target or CVS or wherever on my way home. I write it down. I'm out of salt. I make a grocery list on what I need. I do all of that. I write it down. So just write it down. And here's what your goal can be. It can be sell one more house than last year. If I sold 4, I want 5. If I sold none, just make that number. You can sit here and say, I sold 10 houses, I want to sell 20. Okay. You can set that goal and what that looks like. But let's just say, hey, I want to pay off my $20,000 credit card. Okay. Set that goal. I want to buy a new car and the car is $60,000. Write that down. Jeep Cherokee, $60,000, whatever it is. I want to go to Europe. I want to go to Italy. Well, it's going to be $15,000. Write that down. Because any of it adds up. If I just want to make $100,000 or $200,000, and I know there's some people in our company that are going to write another zero at the end of that. Write it down. Because at the end of the day, we can build this all back. Because you just need to set that goal. I personally even keep like a little vision board in my home office. There's a couple things up there I always keep on there. I always leave it there and to go over, I pick my head up and I look at it. We've talked about having a little sticky on your computer. If your goal is 12 houses, having that on there and crossing it off, 11, 10, 9, 8. And here's the other thing you have to do about your goals. If you're not going to hit it or you're falling behind, you don't just give up, right? You might just take a little bit longer. You might have to change what you're doing. I might have to do more. I might have to work a little differently. It's the same thing too, is let's just say your goal was to sell 12 houses and it's August and you just put your 12th house under contract. You don't quit for the rest of the year. There's more to do. So be flexible with yourself. Don't be stern. Most people who set resolution goals January 1st are not realistic. They haven't thought them out. They probably made them on December 30th or something like that. And as soon as it falls apart, like I'm going to go to the gym is a great one. Gym memberships in December and January are the two biggest months of the year. And by March, nobody goes to the gym. Why? Because they fell out of a routine. They weren't realistic about it. It wasn't specific. It wasn't that I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. And I'm going to do that, for January. And then I can change that for February. But if you set that gym goal of, I join the gym, I don't have to go every day. But if I start going, I'm going to walk 5 days a week. I'm going to walk for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Set it and be specific. Now, real estate makes it easy, right? Because here we go. I want to pay off a $20,000 credit card debt. My average sale price, and this is an average, it's pretty much everywhere, folks. We have an average sale price of about $350,000. That's pretty in the range. We have higher prices and all this stuff. But, if you just we just go off $300,000 or 350 is our average, you can figure this out, right? So if I have a $350,000 house at 5% at 17.5, I cut that in half. It's call it $8,500. Let's just say we're going about I'm going to make, and I like just to make this easy, I'm going to make $5,000. My average check is $5,000. Well, if I have a $20,000 credit card and I sold 5 houses last year and I want to pay off that credit card, I need to sell 4 more. So I need to sell 9 houses. Because I'm going to make an extra $20,000 then. And this is where real estate can be amazing. Because let's just say you want to make $100,000. I want to put $100,000 in my pocket. Do you know you don't even have to sell 2 houses a month to make $100,000? It's 20. On less than a $300,000 house. It's 20. So when you sit here and say, I want to make 20,000, 40,000, 50,000, these numbers are really achievable when you break it down. So I think I saw a couple people who are new to the industry and new to the business. If I said, hey, this is your first week in real estate and you want to make $100,000, that would be like, wow, that's great. But how am I going to achieve it? What am I going to do? And then if I said, do you think you could do 2 closings a month? Most people go, yeah, I could do 2 closings a month. Well, how about this? Do you think you could get 1 lead a week? A buyer, seller that you're going to get an appointment with. I think everybody on here would go like, I could do that. If I could get face-to-face with a buyer or a seller once a week, that'd be 4 a month. boy, if I had a 50% closing rate, that means I just put a buyer under contract, or I got a listing appointment, 2 listing appointments, and I got one. Now all of a sudden, fast forward that over the course of the year, that's 24. So when you break it down to simple numbers, it's easy. It's easier. We still have to now do the work. So when you sit here and really think about it, if you haven't set a goal, it's okay. But really think about it. Look at something that would be the most important thing that you could do. Pay off a college tuition, pay off a credit card. Maybe it's pay off your mortgage. Maybe it's buy a house, a car, go on a vacation. Whatever it is, maybe it's pay off your car and you owe $20,000. You can figure that out and we can help you achieve that. Because when I sit there and say $100,000, that's hard. It's specific. I want to do it this year. How do I attain it? How am I going to get there? But I sat there at everybody and said, can everybody here prospect every single day till they know they have at least one face-to-face appointment every week? You could do that. Whether that's through your phone, whether that's whatever you do. So the first thing to do and why it's so important is, again, set a goal. Think about that. What would be important to you? And no goal is wrong. If you sold 5 houses last year and you want to sell 6, great. If you made $25,000 and you want to make 30, great. If you are brand new and haven't sold a house, then I would say set your goal to 12. I want to do 1 a month because you'll make $60,000. If you made 75, you're trying to get to 100, write that down. Think about what it is. Is it a car? Is it a vacation? Is it a debt? Is it something you want to do? And write it down. And the simple math is you can write down your average commission check will be around $5,000. And then break that out. Because here's the thing, if you don't do it, you probably won't achieve it. You have a strong chance you won't achieve it. But what do you have to lose by setting a goal? No one has any, you don't have anything to lose. You have 100% to gain. 100% gain, nothing to lose, because you're in the spot we are in right today. Nothing's going to change. You have everything to gain by writing that down. And be specific. Make sure it's measurable. Like, hey, if you said, I sold 2 houses last year and this year I want to sell 200, I would say, wow, huge goal. We can be more specific. We can measure that. We have a time frame. Is it realistic? So be realistic on what you can do, but shoot high. Because as we go and break this down, the numbers become easier and easier and easier. So first thing you have to do is set a goal, write it down. And I don't care, on your Post-it note, on your phone, on your screensaver, you tell somebody it's, it's units, it's a number, whatever it is. If you write $20,000 on your laptop, you may know what that means. It's make 20,000 more or make 20,000, whatever. I was talking to an agent in Knightsville 2 days ago, and he told me he was going to double his business from the year before. And he did. So then he said, I'm going to do that. And I said, well, why can't you sell 36 houses? How about 36 this year? And then he was like, oh, and then he goes, I actually think I might be able to, I could do that. I could do 36. I go, there's your goal, 36 houses. 36 houses, and his average sale price was right in this wheelhouse. Look at that. Now you're talking about, pushing $200,000 of net income coming in. So set your goal and write it down, and don't think like it can do it, because you can achieve these really goals. So we've sent out a sheet. It is a busier sheet from Mike Ferry, right, Jody? There's a lot of detail to it, but the one thing that I will always say is you don't have to have all this detail, or you could have a little. The one thing I love about the Mike Ferry one and some of the coaches is they have everything there. And if you don't have to use something or use it, that's fine. But everything you need is on that sheet. And it starts with setting a goal. So once we have this goal now, our next step is you've got to look back at what happened last year and be honest. One thing I love about this is what's my daily schedule? We all can sit there and we've all gone through it and been like, all right, I've got this, and this to do. And it's Wednesday and it's 1 o'clock and you look around and go, what did I really get done today? So you got to look at your daily schedule and look at it. A lot of times I've talked to agents and done coaching stuff and I say, write what you did down for a week. What times you wake up, what times you shut it down at night. What did you do? I woke up, blah, 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 blah. I woke up at 7, I did my thing, and then I went for a walk and I was showered and out of the house at 9 o'clock. And then what did you do? Well, I went to the grocery store. I pumped gas. I stopped at the cleaners. Now it's 10 o'clock. I went to the office. I did this or that. I then grabbed lunch. And then all of a sudden they look for the day and they're like, I worked for 3 hours. Felt busy, felt productive, but I worked for 3 hours. And then you look at the course of the week and go, whoa, I actually only worked for like 25 hours. Write it down, look at it. See what it says, in your schedule and what your life is. And again, just to give yourself an idea. The other thing that form is really good about is it'll actually sit there, and I love the number 5. And you may say, what is a challenge? What is a solution? A challenge, a simple challenge could be life. I have little kids. I need to get them off the bus at, pick a time, 3 o'clock. Okay. So I can't go to the office from 9 to 5. I need to get my kids on the bus at 8:30, and then I'm off at 9 o'clock. And then at 2:30, 3 o'clock, I need to be home to get them off the bus. And then I've got to get them to activities. I got to get dinner ready. I've got to do all these different things. That's real. That's life. And you should be spending and making sure that your family comes first. But just know that. So what's a solution, right? How do you work around that, knowing that you have 9 to 3? And there's the daily schedule, like you can look at, like Jody wrote down. So there's a challenge. Okay, that's a challenge. That's a simple challenge. What's a solution? Is there time where, maybe I could spend another hour or 2 on the weekend? Could I maybe get ready before the kids? So as soon as the kids go to the bus stop, I'm off and I just save myself another half hour. When I bring my kids and drop them to soccer practice or baseball practice or whatever they do, could I have 3 or 4 or 5 SOI prospecting calls in there to make that call? So again, you can have little solutions to do that. I'll do that a lot personally. If I know I'm traveling, like I'm down in Florida right now, if I know I'm going to be in the car for a half hour, I'll leave 1 or 2 calls that I can make and just put that on the phone. But think about that. We all have, there's no wrong or right answer to that. So the other thing too is, as you look at your past business, you need to be really honest with yourself. And if you struggle with this, sit with a manager, sit with any of us. But when you go back and look at your 2023, and we're at the end of the year, a lot of us may not know what we made yet this year, or we may not know what our expenses are. But you can go in the MLS and see how many deals you have, right? You can easily do that. You can go back and be like, okay, I have 12 deals. You can easily in the MLS see out of the 12 deals, 5 were listings and 7 were buyers. You can see that you had 2 expired, so you actually had a couple expireds. You can see what your average sale price is. And then, But the other thing you need to do is you need to go through each deal and say, where did that come from? Deal 1, church. Deal 2, open house. Deal 3, open house. Deal 4, church. Deal 5, my neighbor. Go through. Start seeing where they come from. If I'm getting 25% of my business from networking at church, then I want to make sure maybe I'm networking a little bit more. If I'm getting 25% from my business from leads from the PTA or PTO at school, then I might want to volunteer a little more. and make my active. If I'm getting 25% of my business from open houses, how many open houses did you do? Oh, I did 10. What about doing 20? What about doing 2 a month? Could you get 1 or 2 more deals that way? Because if you got 4 deals from open houses and you did twice as many open houses, I'm going to guess you'll probably end up with 6 deals. Maybe even 8. Write down where they came from. 70% of your business is going to come from your sphere of influence. And if you work your sphere of influence, you will have a business that's not transactional. It's something that you can constantly do. It's going to repeat itself and be repeatable, and you're not chasing it because it's coming from people who know you, trust you, like you. They're referring your name out. And here's the one thing we don't do enough. We don't talk to our sphere of influence. We just don't. And then we all get mad when we see a XYZ sign pop up on our street, or when our second cousin once removed lists their house and you just saw them at a party. I can tell you it's happened to all of us. One thing that killed me was my wife was a maid of honor for her friend. And they had a condo. I help them move them out of the condo. I help them move them into their new house. And guess what they did? They didn't list with me and they didn't buy with me. They bought with their mom's friends. And I still got suckered into moving them, even though there was a CB sign in the front of their house. Why? I never even asked for the business. I never talked to them. I just assumed it would happen. So make sure you're doing that as you're setting your goal. And that can be part of your goal. I am going to make X amount of calls, X amount of contacts, X amount of texts. I'm going to go through my sphere of influence once a quarter to say hi, how are you, how was I doing? Now, Jody, the numbers, right? If you make 20 contacts, what will happen? What are the numbers? What do they say?
So the rule of thumb is how many deals do you want to do? So if I want to do 20 deals, I need to make 20 contacts a day to people I don't know yet. So these are new contacts, not follow-up calls.
So 20. Now, by the way, there's technology today, right? There's texting, there's different things. So a lot of people, and I don't downplay texting because people respond to it. They really, really do. So think about this for a goal. Could you go through your phone and start with A and go through and start making 10 contacts a day? It's 50 a week. I think I have like 1,400 people in my phone. If you scan all the ways, you go to contacts, go to the bottom, it'll tell you the top or one of them, right? So you can set a goal on contacts. You can set a goal on what you're going to do. And if you make the 20, you're going to probably end up with a lead, a deal. But that's got to be part of it now. Now we're starting to get specific, right? We're starting to get specific on our goal. If I know I want to make, and I'm going to use this number, is I sold 5 houses last year and I want to sell 10. Okay, I want to sell 10. I'm going to double my income. I'm going to double my business, and it's not even 1 a month still. But I'm going to make that my goal. You know what then? Tried and true, right, Jody? I need to make 5 more contacts every single day than what I'm doing today.
That doesn't seem hard.
That doesn't seem hard. And but you know what? Every coach has said those numbers for decades. Decades. I read that in a Tom Hopkins book. That if you sold 10 houses and you wanted to sell 20, you need 10 more contacts. But back then it wasn't using the phone. It was literally like, network, door knocking, doing all those things. So now my goal is 5. I had 5 houses. I want to sell 5 more. I'm specific now. I had 10. 10 deals, end of the year, 2024. So I've got S, I've got T. Is it realistic? Absolutely, that is realistic. Is it attainable? Absolutely, it's attainable. Now, the one thing I haven't done is I can measure it, as they close, but we can't be reactive in our business. We all know that. If our business model was, I want everyone to not make any contacts and wait till your phone to ring, we'd all be out of business. So you need to be proactive. And that's where you have to sit there and say, okay, what can I do that, again, this is part of your goal, that I can make myself measurable. So I just told you, I need to make 5 new contacts a day. Now, let me ask everyone, and this will be kind of a little off, but somewhat okay. If you had no toilet paper in your house when you left this morning, would you wait till Sunday to get toilet paper? You would be 100% laser focused to make sure you got toilet paper on your way home. If your car read E and it had 17 miles left, would you just wait till it just stopped running to get gas? No, you'd be laser focused when you got in your car today. You'd go to the gas station and go get toilet paper. It's the first things you would do. Period. I know you can raise hands. I know there's a lot of people who have dogs on here, right? You have a dog. When your dog wakes up, does your dog say, I'll go out when you feel ready. I'll eat breakfast when you feel ready? No. Boy, when the time changed, did your dog say, oh yeah, time changed, I eat an hour earlier now or an hour later? No. If you literally had no toilet paper or soap or anything in your house that was essential for us to wake up tomorrow to do our lives, or no gas in our car, you'd be laser focused to go to the store and get it. So guess what? I'm gonna need to be laser focused to make those contacts. It's the first thing I do every day. I might do them from home. My kids get on that bus, I might make those contacts right now before I even get in the shower. Maybe I've already showered. I'm going to the office. I'm going into the office. I'm closing the door. I'm going in a room and I'm making those contacts before I do anything else. Before I check what recipe I want to make for dinner tonight, before I see what the weather is this weekend, before I follow up on, my kids' soccer schedule, before I follow up on, what we may have to do with Thanksgiving, anything right now. I'm laser focused on that. It's the one thing I'm going to do, because if I do that every single morning before my day goes, I'm going to be successful. I've measured my success now. And my days, hey, I could make those contacts and I could do that. I could get a new lead. I could do everything. The rest of the afternoon, I've done the thing I need to do. A lot of the most successful agents I know, they prospect in the morning. Why? People respond in the morning. People are home more often. They're not trying to make dinner, get kids to practice, tired from the end of the day, stress pulls in, all the life things happen. A contractor was supposed to show up, didn't show up. I've got this problem at the house. I've got that, whatever it is. Kid comes home and got a note from the teacher. All that stuff doesn't happen yet. They prospect in the morning, and they prospect for either a time frame or a number, 5 contacts, 5 conversations, whatever it may be. Then they'll go show a house. Then they'll go do that. They don't sit there and say, I'll do prospecting Monday, not on Tuesday. I'm golfing on Wednesday. I'm going to show a house Thursday morning. Guess what you just did? The one thing you had to do to go to the store and pick up soap and pump gas in your car, you waited on it. You weren't laser focused on it. And you would be laser focused again if it was that. So as you sit there and set your goal, and I made it simple, I need 5 contacts. Well, if I want to make $100,000, I know my average commission check is $5,000. I need 20 deals. I might look back and I had a couple deals fall apart as we went back and looked at. Listing expired, deal fell apart. Deals fall apart again, folks. It happens. So maybe I need 24. I need 2 a month. I need 2 a month, which means I probably need 5 leads a month. If I need 5 leads a month, I need a little more than 1 a week. So I might even make my goal to make 2 leads a week. If I break it down to 2 a week, that's a lot easier than 100 grand. Go get 2 leads.
So
Right now,
Kelly's
today.
asking, does anyone want to share their goal for this coming year?
Who's Juicy, by the way?
I don't know.
I was wondering.
I just keep on thinking of Juicy Fruit and thinking of the Jimmy Buffett song.
I saw that, I don't think.
Okay, Erin is saying that her goal, hold on, where'd it go? Kelly, you guys should like talk to us. Oh, here we go. Okay, Erin's goal is 60 deals. And Ryan said she should do that by October. So just so you know, like when you're looking at your sheet here, whatever your income goal is. So PJ said, okay, let's say it's 100,000, then you need 20 closed deals on average, depending on what your average price is. And then listing to appointment goal, like PJ said, you're going to want to do it more, look at what your track record is. How many appointments do you go on before you get a listing? And how many listings do you take before you get a sale? And on average, it's, for experienced agent, every 2 appointments, you should get a listing. For a new agent, maybe 3 appointments before you get a listing. So that's what you want to think of. The appointment, then going on the listing goal could be another 30%. So if I have 20 deals, I need to do, what do I need to do? What's 30%? 20 plus 30%. That is 26 divided by the average person works 48 weeks. So 48 divided by 20, well, actually, we'll do 12 months. 26 divided by 12. So that is 2.1 appointments a month to get to my 20 deals.
And that's what we're saying, right? 2.
Right. And then
Ooh.
how much are we going to work with buyers? How much are we going to work with listings? So maybe we'll do half and half. So I need to find a new buyer every month and a new listing. So what do I have to do to make that happen? What did I do last year? Like PJ said, where does most of my business come from? Is it coming from open houses? Is it coming from my circle of influence, church, divorces, friends, family, that kind of thing, new babies? And then how many days a week am I going to work? How many hours a day? So what is my prospecting goal? So if I want to do 20 deals a year, I'll, 20 is the number of new contacts that I need every day. But the trick is, however many deals you get, just because you are who you are, that business just comes to you. So maybe 3 of those 20 deals I would have gotten no matter what I did. You can subtract that. So now I only need 17 contacts a day. So my contact goal is going to be 17 a day.
So as Judy said, if you did 10 deals last year and you want to do 20, your contact goal is 10. Right? So that's where you're going to do that. But when you sit there and say, and Jody, go up a little bit.
Okay.
When you sit there and say, we're 50-50 would be great, right? Listings or buyers.
Yes.
Remember this. If you had more listings generate buyer leads for you.
Right.
Right? So remember that if you can do that, and a lot of times your listing is also going to be a buyer buying another house.
Right.
So really, like, that's as you're networking, you're looking for all those things. Now, the one thing as you're having these conversations have conversations with people. There's people telling us every day they want to buy or sell or they're thinking about it. We sit there and go on Facebook and we like someone's kid's page that they just got married, their daughter just got married, or they just had a kid, they just had a new grandkid. That should be ding, ding, ding.
Right.
Somebody just got married, they're probably gonna be looking for a house in the next year or two. They're probably already
Right.
thinking about it.
Ryan is saying conversation, so I keep saying context because I'm kind of nerdy, but it's what PJ says too. It is those conversations that you have at church and that you can track it.
It's a conversation, a contact is a conversation, right? If I send a text to you and you don't respond, I didn't have a contact then. But if you respond, now I'm in a conversation.
So PJ, I love the thing that you talk about. It just makes it so much more fun because who wants to sit down and call, like let's say I pick up the phone book or I pick up, Jody sends me a list of everybody in this neighborhood and I'm going to cold call 50 people. And on average, I can do 5 contacts an hour. Okay. What are some other things I can do? What are different sources I can call?
Well, that's what I'm saying. First off, there's a million people, like I was saying, that are telling you about they're thinking of real estate. People are thinking of retiring, their grandkids, the babies, their marriages, all those things, right? So
Right.
you're doing it. People, but what else can you do? Start with your phone.
Okay.
You can start with your phone and call people and just say, hi, Olga, it's PJ. I know we haven't talked in a while, but I was thinking about you. Hope you and your family are doing well. Right? Now, we have Thanksgiving. We have all the holidays coming up. What else can you do? Volunteer to get somewhere to have conversations. Your church, your PTO, a food bank, anything that's of interest in you. It doesn't have to cost money. And then when I go volunteer at church, I don't just join the church. I become the person who's going to be responsible for, I think yesterday I used an example like the mitten tree, the pancake breakfast, it could be the firehouse, anything you do. So you're going to go and you're going to have conversations with people. You're going to have a new contact. You're going to talk to people and they're going to ask you about real estate at some point. What else could you do? Think about your family. What does your significant other do? What do your kids do? What do your parents do? All those things you tie into. You start looking at those things and looking at what could that be? If you're a certain age and your kids are all getting married and having kids, well, I really want to tie into that. My kids' sphere of influence. I can help them buy a house. If you're at another stage in your life where people are starting to downsize, well, I want to make sure people know I downsize. If your significant other is in a golf club or your significant other is in a book club or whatever it may be, I want to make sure, how do I inject myself into that so they know I'm in real estate?
So,
You know what we're really bad at? Letting people know we're in real estate. I guarantee half of our dentists don't know we're in real estate.
That's true. So how can you gently interject that in? Any ideas?
Yes. It's simple. First, we need to talk. So if I'm sitting there and I'm in the hygienist chair and my hygienist knows me now because of this, how's everything going with you? They're gonna ask you how you're doing. I'm going to go, wow, well, good, really busy. The real estate market is crazy. Oh, are you in real estate? Well, yes, I am. As soon as somebody asks you how you are, you're going to push real estate, my career into that.
I love it.
I'm doing great. Actually, I just sold this family the neatest house in blah, blah, blah. That's all you have to say. Oh, I'm doing really well. Hey, you know what's kind of neat? Did you know they're building a new shopping plaza or they're doing this or doing that in town? Did you read about that? No, why? Oh, well, I'm in real estate and I was checking up on this and that.
Oh, I love that.
You just need, as soon as somebody asks you about you, you talk about your business a little bit.
Right.
How about when assessment times or schools, when you're sitting there at your kids' games and all those different things, and there's people that you know that are going to be, by the way, somebody who's thinking about buying or selling a house in July of next year is sitting down, talking about it, thinking about it right now.
Right.
Right now. So one thing that we talked about yesterday was and I think Ron's on here. Ron told the story is he went out, he had a name badge on, he went into Wendy's. The person working at Wendy's said, "Oh, you're in real estate? We've been trying to look for a house, but we're having trouble." He was able, "Oh, I'm in real estate," and find an agent for him. Wearing a name badge, using your work email, telling people when they ask you how you're doing, or you're sitting at a soccer game or a volleyball game or whatever you're doing, bringing it up when they ask you. How about this? Are your voicemails set up? Does your voicemail just say, "Thank you for calling 555-1212"? Why doesn't it say, "Thank you for calling Alan at Century 21 Real Estate"?
Nice.
Then all of a sudden, when the plumber calls you back, your dentist calls to confirm your appointment, when anybody's calling you, it says that. Don't be the secret agent. And you don't have to be pushy. How many people have a drip campaign? Wishing people happy Thanksgiving, roll back your clock, spring forward, happy New Year. Those emails, that little email that's people get, happy New Year, click delete.
You know what I love? I think,
Dina's on here. Wait a minute. I'm going to ask Dina. Hold on, Jody.
oh,
Dina,
good.
how many people in our company have drip campaigns set up right now? Percentage, ballpark.
Not enough. I'd say baseline, we do have a lot of people on neighborhood news, but you can always add more people. So whether it's leads coming in from any one of your sources, tap into your social media channels, make sure those are set up, and then put those people on drip campaigns. If you have any questions about how to maneuver in your Moxie account, let me know. Reach out, send me an email, shoot me over a text, and we'll get your campaigns going.
Thank you. And Dina, but I'm going to guess probably about 50% of our agents, right?
Probably about 50.
So there's another 300 agents who don't have anything. Set it up. It doesn't hurt. And don't think you're bothering your people. I went into Big Lots like 3 months ago. I get 2 emails a day from Big Lots now. If you buy anything from anybody, anywhere, you're going to get multiple emails every day. You will get people do that. Now think about this. If I have my neighborhood news, which actually just went out today, the 15th, because I just got mine. I put it on myself so I know it goes out. You have a neighborhood news goes out. It gives people stats of real estate in their zip code. That's it. Simple, from you. Brandon, done, easy. I get it. If I don't even open it, it says PJ Lewis, they delete it. I just did that. And now if I do a couple other postcards or something like Happy Thanksgiving or, happy first day of winter, happy Groundhog's Day, all those different things, they get a little email, boom, they delete it, done. And then I actually once a quarter reach out and say, "Hey, Dina, it's PJ. Haven't talked to you in a while. Just wanted to check in. Hope you and your family are doing well. I saw some great pictures on Facebook. Looked like you guys went skiing, blah, 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 blah," whatever it is. And I realized we haven't talked in a while. Now, all of a sudden, in 3 months, they've gotten a few emails from me. I've reached out to them. They probably saw me on maybe social media once, maybe not. And all of a sudden now I've got 4 or 5 touches with Dina. And then Dina goes to a holiday party. Dina goes to work and she's sitting next to somebody and they say, "Oh yeah, well, our house is getting a little too small. I think we need another bedroom." Who's Dina thinking of? Me.
Her name Dina or
And I haven't been bugging Dina for referrals. But Dina knows me. She likes me. We're friends. We're on each other's phones. We see each other at events, church, whatever. And all that can do is make her think of you when she's sitting there going, "Hey, you need to call PJ. I've got a great person for you. They're terrific. They're going to communicate and do all that stuff." So don't be the secret agent and reach out when anybody brings something up. Talk about what's going on in real estate. So now, I know we're getting here, was when you write this all down, you need to be accountable to yourself. And if you need someone else like Jody or me or anybody, Ryan, Kelly, Tom, Carl, Sandy, Jody, anybody, they'll hold you accountable, tell us, and we'll talk to you for 10 minutes a week. But guess what? If you sit there and say, "I know," I want to sell 20 houses. I know I sold 10. I know I need to make 10 contacts a day, 10 conversations, talk to 10 people every day, 50 a week, and it rolls into Friday, and I haven't done that. Should I quit? No. I need to tell myself I didn't make my 50 contacts, I only made 20. Okay. Again, I need gas in my car. I need soap in my house. I need toilet paper. Laser focused. Go make the contacts and start all over tomorrow. You can't change what you did in the past. Right? There's that old saying, the reason that your rearview mirror is this big and your windshield is that big, look forward. I can't change the past. I can't change what I really did, but I can make it what I want. And maybe you might say to yourself, I'm gonna make 5 more contacts every day this week to catch up. Great, good for you. But if not, just get laser focused again on your goal. Your goal is 100 grand. Your goal then is 2 a month. And all of a sudden it becomes, I need to make 10 contacts, 10 conversations a day, wherever that is, however that is. And by the way, using tools like PCC and Moxie and everything like that help. So when you have these conversations, you're top of mind with people. And guess what? All of a sudden I go back to my laser focus and I make it done. And if you can do that, you'll be successful. And I'm going to give a story too right now. And Jody, I want you to chime in after. This is about 10 years ago. Ryan and I were actually, young little kids working as sales managers and stuff. And I had a recruiting goal. And I used to write down 10 names, cell phone, and I might have to put a note on there. And I used to keep that piece of paper in my pocket in my car. And I used to 10, and I needed to talk to 2 people that day. So I'd call Jody, she didn't pick up. I'd go through that list. Because I needed to talk to 2, and I'd just make sure I talked to those 10 that week. And I ended up becoming the recruiting manager of the year out of like 70 managers. Now, if I said I want to be the recruiting manager of the year out of 70 managers, it'd be hard. It'd be really hard. But it was 2. Now, I didn't leave 2 voicemails. I went through that list to talk to 2 people. And sometimes I called that person all week long and then they never picked up. And I had to find another one on Friday, but that person stayed on the list for next week. Because those conversations out of 2, I realized my numbers. If I have 2 conversations a week, that's 10 a week. I'll get 2 appointments. 1 will cancel or 2 will cancel. That's fine. I don't care. But if I get 10 conversations and I get my 2 appointments, I'm going to hire a couple people every single month, guaranteed. And it ended up being 3 and 4.
Mm.
So all you have to do is, again, I just need to talk to those 10, whatever that number is, write it down. And here's what we want to do, right, Jody, is if we leave here and you're like, I need a little one-on-one help. I got an idea. I have a goal. I want to buy, a brand new Corvette, or I want to pay off my car, or I want to pay off a credit card. I don't know how, it'll literally take us 20 minutes to sit down on the phone and say, okay, let's break this down. Where's your business from? What do you do? How can we do this? And here's what you need to do. And then imagine if I said, and I'll pick on Jamie. She just popped up right on the top of my screen now. Hi, Jamie. If I just said, Jamie, you want to make 100 grand? I need you to talk to 10 people a day. And I think you're going to have about a 77% chance of hitting 100 grand. Can you talk to 10 people a day?
Pretty
Yes.
much.
There it is. She's nodding. I know she's
Grocery
gonna be-
store, anywhere.
Yes, there you go. So that's a lot more achievable and it's easier to do every single day. And when something happens that day or you take a day off, and remember, like Jody said, how many days you're going to work. You don't have to work 7 days a week. We're telling you to work 5. Challenge yourself to make it happen. Jody, I know you have stuff you want to add.
Well, no, I love what you're saying because it is about the conversations, and it's important to track your conversations. So when you're in the store and you have a good conversation, you knock that off. There's one. There's my 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5 today. And what I wanted to say is, when they're finished filling out their goals, PJ, who should they share their goal with?
So I would share your goal, if you can with your manager. You can share your goal if you don't feel comfortable with that. Definitely share your goal if you have a significant other. Because they'll actually hold you a little bit more accountable. Right? And they're not gonna be, business about it, but if you told your significant other that I'm gonna pay off this credit card this year, they're gonna be like, awesome, let's do it. How are you doing it? I need to make 10 calls a day. They're gonna be like, whoa, that's it? Great. But then if not too, share it with a coworker. Because sometimes it's fun with a coworker. If I'm sitting next to somebody and they're sitting there saying, I want to sell 24 houses, I want to sell 36 houses. Okay, how you doing? What's going on? How's it going? You're gonna push each other. Hey, where are you today? I'm in the office. Oh, I went golfing. Oh, why
And
golf?
I love that you said that you wrote down 10, because that's exactly on the last page, part 5, the challenges. So the challenge is you're going around everywhere. So you take the names with you. And we all have our car phones set up to our cars. So all I have to do is tell Siri to call somebody. So as long as it's in my phone, I can do it. That is great.
Yeah, and be laser focused about it. Again, think of toilet paper. Get it done right away.
So the
Do it
first
that
most
day.
important
You
thing
wouldn't
is,
wait till tomorrow,
right,
right?
we need to figure out that how are we going to make this happen? What stopped us last year? That's a challenge. What stopped me yesterday? That's a challenge. I need to be honest with myself, write down the challenge, and then, think of something fun, like what you just said. Oh, all I have to do is, I could even take a picture on my phone of the people I'm going to call from my database. It's not like, make it easy, make it simple, just have it in the top of your mind. This is what I am going to do today. I'm going to get those contacts in, because it does work. It works. It's like gravity. You reach out to people, you're going to find 8.9% of Connecticut, according to the census, is going to move this year. 8.9%. Everyone knows someone who's moving. So having those conversations, having something that makes people trust you in today's world, they're gonna open up to you. And so if they don't know you're in real estate, you can just say, I don't know if you know, but I'm actually in real estate and the market is amazing right now. You can buy a home for $300,000 and still pay $2,200 a month, which is a lot less than you're going to pay for rent in this area for a house. I don't know if you know anybody who's renting, but I would love to talk to them if you do.
Jordan and I were talking to a gentleman in the military on Monday, and he's in a 900 square foot, 1 bedroom. He pays $1,650 a month. Plus utilities.
Nice.
So like, he's sitting there going like, he asked the question, how do I buy? Like, this is crazy. Like, I have a tiniest little place. So again, there's a lot of different things. We talk about different people to call. I have those classes. Jody has those classes. We'll continue to have those classes. But write down your goal. And if you're sitting there going, okay, I have no idea how I'm going to get there right now. This is great. I want to do this. I want to hit this, but I really don't know how to get there. Then just text any of us and we'll say, okay, let's schedule a 20-minute conversation, whether we're face-to-face on Zoom or on the phone, and we can go over it so you can hit it. Because here's the one thing we all want. We all want you to have the best year ever, or the year that you want in 2024. And the market means nothing. Jody just said 9% of Connecticut's going to move. You're talking about 50, 60,000 deals. I'm here in Florida. They're going to have population growth. PCSing just got big again. They got new builds going crazy all over the place, new infrastructure being built, new strip malls being built, because the population is just continually growing.
PJ, are we going to get a copy of the goal setting? The sheets that you were showing us?
The one that was on that Jody had?
Yeah. Are we
Yeah,
gonna
we
get a
sent
copy?
that out. We'll send it out again.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. But, and if you're sitting there, write your goal down. How do I get there? You know, if you're sitting there, I see Branford just popped on the screen, grab Tom and say, Tom, let's talk about this. Grab any of us so we can make sure you hit your goal and no goal is too big, no goal is too small.
And reach out to Ryan if you're super serious. He has a program going on right now that will help you focus, laser focus, 4 days a week. It will work.
I can attest to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ryan's program is life-changing. It's a great way to hold yourself and make that toilet paper run every morning. That's what I say. I'm doing that toilet paper with Ryan's program. I would look into it if you can.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We're literally getting people together to help you hit your goals. So we're here for you to do it. Write it down, share it. If you can make it smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and have the time frame on it, right? You're going to do it. If you need help with that, just ask us. And then if you ask us and help you, then we're going to know what your goal is, and we're going to be able to help you hit that. And remember, it's not easy. So you're going to have a bad day. We all have bad days. We have bad weeks. We have bad months. It's okay. This is a process. It's a race. It's the tortoise and the hare, right? So don't worry. Be the tortoise, be steady, and you will be successful because that's how it all works. And
Nice.
you can hit your goal. So we're at an hour here, Jody. Does anybody have any
Okay.
questions?
PJ, I'll tell you that was 1979's Harvard Goals study that was done that you're quoting. Very nice. Good stats.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Fill out your goals. Take care.
Thank you.